Side of Hurricane Helene. We made pretty well, and now we can continue Ace Attorney investigations because Chamomile said something that's a lie.
Chamile's got some issues.
Yeah. Chamomile. Gotta teach her a lesson. Oh, she's sleeping again.
What's her deal?
Miss Meal. Miss Meal? Huh? Do you recall what you said earlier about when you answered some service calls as we were departing from Zhangfa? Huh? You said that Mr. Hicks was sitting in his seat at that time. However, that is simply Hicks was dead long before we ever touched down in Zhangfa. Oh? Miss Chamomile. See what I thought I did? No one can make a mistake so large, Miss Meal. But I make that kind of boo-boo all the time. This is going nowhere. There must be a better way of resolving this contradiction. Very well. Miss Meal, if you please, tell me about your alibi during the time span. From just before we were to land at 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. when the body was found. Are you telling me I'm a suspect, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, yeah. From 3 to 4, I was, in the flight attendant's room, all by my lonesome self. Oh, yeah. And from 5 to 6, I was, in the flight attendant's room, all by my lonesome self.
So from 4 to 6, she's saying she's by herself.
Yeah. And it seems that she said the entire time, from 3 to 6, really. From 3 to 4 and from 5 to 6. So from 4 to 5, she wasn't.
Yeah, where were you?
Yeah. Miss Meal, wake up. Ah. She fell asleep again. It looks like the only way I'm going to be able to wake her up is by pressing her.
Has she got, like, narcolepsy? She's waking so much.
I'm telling you, it might just be a front to make her look not suspicious. Okay, might as well press her on this statement.
Hold it!
Miss Meal, wake up. Oh, I'm awake. Miles Edgeworth, I demand that you do something about this flight attendant this instant. Why don't you whip her? Why ask me to wake her when you can finally put that whip to an appropriate... Thank you! Thank you, that's what I'm saying.
Hold it!
If I remember correctly, food was being served in first class in the lounge, between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m. Yeah, but that kind of stuff's run by Miss Rhoda. And what were you doing in the attendance room at that time? Eating and then having a most delicious dream. You mean you were neglecting your duties? No way, sleeping's part of our job too, you know. Alright, let's push on this too. Miss Meal, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Wake up. I'm awake. Aw, I thought she was gonna do on the receiving end of a lash in your stead. Really? Sorry about that. So you were alone the entire time, were you? Yeah, no one else even popped their head. Should I raise an objection? Yeah. Miss Meal, there's a clear contradiction embedded in your testimony. Huh? What are you talking about? Let's take a look.
She's saying that she was looking at the seat at 5 a.m. She couldn't have been in her room, but we already had established that, right?
Yeah, we established that before this testimony even began. And we're trying to say it's not possible she was alone in the attendance room the whole time. It suggests... We still don't know where this phone is. Let's see. Well,
She should have been serving drinks at 6, 5:30 to 6. But she shouldn't have been there.
yeah, I think you're right.
Take that!
Oh dear.
It's time for me.
I thought so too, but maybe it's what is with this girl? Oh, it's alright if you were sleeping, pal. Pay no mind to the scruffy detective beside you and wake up. Yeah! Hurry up and wake up, Miss Meal.
Hold it!
Yeah. You're not alone in the attendance room the whole time from 5... Oh yeah! Because when she bought this, she had to bring it back to the attendance room at 5:40.
Okay.
Take that!
I wonder if you would be so kind as to take a look at this receipt, Miss Mill. A receipt for what? It's for the suitcase Miss Tenero bought. Now, if I may direct your attention to the timestamp. As you can see, it clearly says 5:40 a.m. Miss Tenero. Yes? Why is the killer here? I thought you'd have her locked up by now. I requested that she be present as a witness so that we may straighten out your complex lie. Now then, Miss Tenero, between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m., you take a trip from first class down to the first floor in-flight shop, correct? Yes, I went to the shop to buy a suitcase. After which I went straight to the attendance room to drop it off. And did you see Miss Meal there at the time? No. So, Miss Meal, where were you really between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m.? Miss Chamomile. Huh? The bathroom? I'll be the one to ask the questions here. Yeah, maybe that's it. I probably just missed her. Nature calls, you know. Take me for a fool. That's a little too convenient to be true. But it's the truth. Cross my heart. I don't have enough conclusive proof to counter-argue her at this stage. You don't believe me, do you? But please, won't you give me a chance and hear me out? Look, I know you're suspecting me because I'm one of the crew. But you'd think that maybe you should also suspect Miss Rhoda, too. She's the one in charge of the elevator keycard in the shop, you know. If you ask me, that makes her super suspicious. Please leave Miss Tenera out of the conversation. Only you are under suspicion for now. I don't get it. Why are you covering for Miss Rhoda all of a sudden? Oh, now I get it. Maybe you've got your eye on Miss Rhoda. Of course I'm keeping an eye on her. I can't very well let her escape, can I? Never mind. But you want to know something? Miss Rhoda actually kind of... I have absolutely no interest in people who can't appreciate my sense of design. Now's not the time for this sort of talk. Okay, so Old Bag and Miss Rhoda both like him.
He's not a bad looking guy.
Yeah. He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Simon, I'm gonna leave you.
Oh, yeah, because you're leaving me for Simon Blackwell.
I love him.
Darn.
Hold it!
It's missing.
Yeah. What are you in charge of, Miss Meal? I take care of the attendance room. That doesn't count. But I spent so much time in there, it might as well be my responsibility. Mr. Edgeworth Cammy is very talented in languages, so she assists passengers who may not speak English, especially those who speak Borginian. She is the only one on the flight who is fluent. Oh, you mean that kind of what am I in charge of? Why didn't you say so in the first place? What else could I have meant? Yeah, so I'm very good at Borginian. She's fluent at Borginian. And I suppose you're in charge of processing documents in Borginian? Yeah, I take care of everything that has to do with Borginian. Very interesting. Oh. And oh, we just opened up.
Hold it!
So what exactly do you do as the one in charge of some Burgundian stuff? I do stuff like translate things from and into Burgundian. Tammy's the only member of the crew who understands Burgundian, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Meal, I take it then it is your job to process all the Burgundian paperwork. Yeah, see, I totally pull my weight around here. So it would appear perhaps I should ask her for a few more details about her work, and... Miss Meal, it's very unladylike to push suspicion onto someone else. That's not what I'm doing at all. I'm just saying that Miss Rhoda is very sus... There you go, pushing everything onto her again. I don't get what you're saying. It must be a really abstract concept, huh? The only thing abstract here is the landscape inside your head.
Hold it!
No, it's not the only reason I have for suspecting you. Your statements regarding Mr. Hicks also turned out to be a bunch of lies.
Hold it!
She is already being detained for further questioning, or have you already forgotten? Oh yeah, I guess I just forgot. Cammy, don't tell me you suspect me too. Sorry, can't help it. Other than you, there's no one else who could have done it. Can't believe you would think that. Me, a killer? Miss Mia, what did you mean just now by no one else could have done it?
Hold it!
Actually, your on-the-job behavior makes you super suspicious in my eyes. Huh? But why? While Miss Tenero is busy with the passengers and all of her other duties, you have a lot of free time on your hands, thus providing you with ample time to commit the crime. Miles Edgeworth, I demand that you cease and desist in this line of conjectural questioning. I won't allow you to bluff your way through this like a certain defense lawyer. But I do not honestly believe Miss Meal does any actual work aboard this flight. Oh, that's not true, Mr. Edgeworth, although, well... So...
What sugar is Betty getting involved? The other guy identified it. That's definitely Burgundian.
Yeah, because we have some Burgundian stuff here. And we have that. The statue is a fake. I wonder if it's the red certificates and she has to do all this stuff. Let's try, and if this is wrong, we'll go to your idea. So you are the only one in this flight crew that speaks Burgundian. Is that correct? Oh, yeah, I guess so. I studied abroad in Burgundia for a while. If that is the case, then the signature on this document belongs to you, doesn't it? This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose: to lead anyone who read it to believe that Mr. LeBlanc's statue is loaded in Europe. The only person who could have either prepared or processed this document in Burgundian is you, Miss Mail. Without your participation, this... Oh, I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth. What the... Is she vaping bubbles or something?
Yeah, to make it look like she's sleeping with the bubbles, she's been acting.
Oh, that little sneak. It is exactly as you say. Are you confessing to have participated in the smuggling? No, far from it. It's true that I was the one who signed off on that document. But you can't use that fact alone to make your allegation of smuggling stick. There's no direct correlation, after all. All you have is my signature on a piece of paper. Really? All you did was sign it? I neglected to check if the cargo had been loaded onto the plane properly. So, sorry about that. It seems that she's finally woken up. This is going to be one tough fight. Suppose, and this is just a supposition, even if I was involved in the smuggling, you can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that. If you were involved in the smuggling, you would have a strong motive to kill. Agent Hicks was in the middle of an investigation regarding a smuggling ring, and just when he was about to close in, he's killed by a member of that ring. Well, did you ever stop to think that maybe Rhoda is the smuggling ring member? After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work purposes. So perhaps there is some element of a setup at play in this case. What are you talking about? Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you, I meant the killer. First, it was myself, and now it's Miss Tenero who is under the microscope. It seems to me that our killer is going to great lengths to pin this crime on anyone they can. You have no proof that Rhoda is being set up, or that she isn't. Actually, I believe that she was indeed the intended target from the very beginning. I believe that the plan was to push all of the blame for the crime onto her. This evidence will prove my suspicions. This proved that the killer was out to frame Miss Tenero from the very beginning. Because it's her suitcase?
Take that!
The killer could have hidden the body anywhere, and yet they chose the suitcase. Why is that? Perhaps it was to move the body up from the lower deck to the first floor. However, why go through the trouble to do so? The only way all of these actions make sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Miss Tenero for the murder. Miss Tenero buys a suitcase on every flight she works without fail. But should her suitcase be switched with the one containing the victim's body, that would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately for the killer, the turbulence put an end to that plan. There wasn't enough time to put the body back into the suitcase. Ergo, they made do with whoever was at hand, adapted their plan, tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. The killer then went to hide the suitcase in the in-flight shop, and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree? Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why did the killer need to frame someone that badly anyway? That is because of the special circumstances surrounding this particular case. The special circumstance dictated the need for the killer to frame someone. Where the murder took place, when the murder took place, who the murder victim was. Let's see. Why did the killer need to frame someone? That is because of the special circumstances surrounding this particular case.
Yeah, because it's involving smuggling. They want to get tied off the smuggling.
I guess that's possible, yeah. Because we didn't know anything about the smuggling before. Oh, okay, that's not where they're going. No, that's not what I said. You're wrongly deduced my meaning, Miss Neal. The one with the wrong deductions is you. Think before you speak again. I think the special circumstance is simply the fact that it's up in the air, although I still don't know why that would mean to frame somebody. I don't know. I'm gonna go with where. The special circumstance is simply that the murder took place on a plane mid-flight. No matter which country, customs is quite strict in this day and age. So no matter what you do, the chances that the body will be found is very high. Therefore, there was no choice but to frame either Miss Tenero or myself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminal's movements is not Miss Tenero or myself, but you, Miss Chamomile. Only you and you alone could be the killer. And... Are you done already? I was about to fall asleep again. Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence. I can see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. Isn't there a piece of evidence? Yeah, the phone.
Take that!
I don't have any actual evidence. I thought not. But that's because it went missing and still is. Missing? What do you mean by that? In the complex puzzle that is this case, there was one piece I kept getting stuck on. And that is the victim's cell phone. Francisca, you were waiting at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hicks' cell phone. Or at least that's what you told me. That's right. But Agent Hicks' cell phone could not be found at the crime scene. I mean, the killer took the phone with them. Precisely. I suspect that if we were to find that phone, it would lead us to the killer. Come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't his phone break as well? We won't know that until we try a little experience, will we? swearing, will we? Francisca, I'd like to ask for your assistance. You know the victim's phone number, do you not? Of course I do. Agent Hicks' phone, it's ringing from somewhere, sir. I hear it, Detective. Now where's it coming from? Is it in here? The ringing's coming from somewhere in here, sir. Leave no stone unturned, Detective Gunshoe. We must find it. The ringing's coming from in here, sir. What? No, it can't be. This has got to be the victim's cell phone. Just whose locker is this, sir? It's Miss Tenero's. What? Uh-oh. So, Mr. Edgeworth, how did it go? Where did you find the phone? I found it in the flight attendant's room in Miss Tenero's locker. What? But... Rhoda Tenero. I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Miss Von Karma, is it? I suggest you arrest Miss Rhoda Tenero right away. Wait, I have a theory. This is related to the incident with the keycard. When the killer went to steal the keycard, they conveniently stashed the cell phone in Miss Tenero's locker at the same time. This is related to the keycard, all right. In the same way that we have zero proof that the killer did just that. The only voice that sings the truth is evidence. That is the one bird we cannot ignore. What should I do? Francisco's right. I can't offer baseless conjectures at this point. Alright, then why did the culprit take the cell phone from Agent Hicks? It must have something very incriminating on or in it.
Hold it!
What now, Miles Edgeworth? It's not over yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the phone. What? Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer. We need to examine this phone in more detail. The LCD is broken. Without a screen, you can't even place a call with this. Ah, it's a camera lens. Come to think of it, I wonder, how exactly was Agent Hicks planning to preserve the crime scene of the smuggling? Francisca, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures? Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know about this kind of basic stuff, sir. This looks like a very similar model to my own. And mine can take photos just fine. Do you think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures with this? In particular, pictures as evidence for a smuggling case. If so, I'd say there may be some very inconvenient photos in here for our killer smuggler. The phone's all busted up, sir. Even a super prosecutor can't repair a broken phone. I'll find a way, don't you worry about that. May I go back to sleep now?
Objection!
The LCD screens on the inside and outside are broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason enough to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data. What? What do you mean by that, Francisca? It looks like our killer isn't very familiar with electronics. This phone still rang when I called and meaning that only the LCD screens are broken. It's possible that the photos are still there inside waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone. Francisca, your phone if you please. Very well. It's transferring, alright, displaying it now. This is... Agent Hicks was most certainly trying to obtain some evidence for a smuggling case. Hey, the alien thread's nowhere in this pic, sir. But this has no meaning as a piece of evidence in this murder case, right? Ouch, he's right. There's not much we can find out from this about Agent Hicks' killer, sir. Is this it? Is this the end? Is there really nothing in this photo that we can use?
This is saying that impossible.
Nothing that we can use as far as... Is there something we can use as evidence in this murder case? Yeah, we already pointed that out, though, didn't we? Let's try it. I even almost fell to my death. However, I was saved in a miracle-like manner. Perhaps that is what to run away from death by the skin of one's kill. We can examine, so we don't... The fact that all the suitcases are here in this photo is odd. Agent Hicks was still alive at that time. So what exactly is so odd about suitcases that haven't been yet used? Yes, well, I was only pointing out things that are different between now and then. Your off-topic ramblings have put this attendant to sleep yet again, Miles Edgeworth. I'll give Sleepyhead here a rude awakening, a deafening objection, and a contradiction. Let's see, bed sheets? Boxes of bed sheets. These are still in the cargo hold, though. There's nothing unusual about them in particular, but I can't shake the feeling. If you're just playing around, mind if I go home? Yes, I mind! What exactly is different between then and now? What's all this? Oh, they're a cargo ship from Briginia to Zangfa. So the reason they aren't here now is that they were dropped off in Zangfa. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me the contents of the boxes? Unfortunately, there is no English written on them anywhere. One cluster of boxes is written in Barginian. It says, it is cloth in English. Cloth? Could it be? Is this where the killer... What? What for is that scary face? Miss Meal. Yes. It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. He left us with a piece of evidence after all. A striking piece that will point out who his killer is. Ha! Maybe you shouldn't force your mistaken reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth. Virginian cargo and this piece of evidence will point us straight to the killer. So...
Huh?
You know, I wonder...
Take that!
And what is that supposed to prove? The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood they had spilt. But there was one thing that bothered me this whole time. Where did it come from? Now I finally found my answer in this very photo. The cargo that was unloaded in Zangfa had cloth written on it. In Borginian, that is. That is where the killer grabbed the piece from to clean up the blood.
The only way to know what was in it.
That's right!
They'd have to-
That's right, the killer was someone who could read and understand Borginian. And the only crew member that fits the description is you, Miss Chamomile. Ah, that's pretty flimsy. The killer probably searched through all the boxes looking for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is in English or Virginian. Sorry, but I cannot agree with your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature. What? There was no need for the killer to tear through boxes at random at all. And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend Virginian, well then. Logically, the killer would have opened this box first. Ah! Yeah.
Take that!
Hey, it says bedsheets in English right on the box, sir. Precisely, and bedsheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't you say? So what are you trying to say? That if I were the criminal, this box of bedsheets would have been what I would have spotted first. However, the killer chose to use some Virginian cloth. Do you have an explanation for that? The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real scene of the crime was his cargo hold. So they were afraid to leak signs that the box for the sheets had been opened. However, the Virginian cloth, well, that's a horse of a different color. Because the killer knew that it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Zangfa. That's right. That is why the Virginian cloth was used. And the only Virginian reader on board who could make such a calculated decision is you, Chamomile, you and you alone. Ah! Oh, she's protecting herself with the teddy bear with the hat. It would be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. All we would have to do is contact the Zangfa authorities in time. may even find other evidence to incriminate our killer within those boxes. Urgh. So what do you say, Miss Meal? Why not confess to your crime here and now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from our investigation in Zhangfa? No! He was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here, and he started taking pictures. Couldn't be found out. I was scared. I was in trouble. I... We finished making all the arrangements to take the suspect in, sir. I actually think that's a very clever solution to the puzzle. That the bet sheets are there. The name... Like, I noticed the bet sheets yesterday, not because I was suspicious, but I'm like, oh, you know, bet... Like, they're not just a blank box that say bet sheets. I kind of like how it actually went into the solution. That should have been the first thing. I actually think that's really clever. Very good, Detective. What about that smuggling route? Did she say anything about that? They're taking her down to the precinct now. Hopefully we can get more out of her there. Whenever we approached the topic, she just started foaming at the mouth. It was scary, sir. She probably wasn't prepared to commit a murder all of a sudden. One thing is for sure, the ring behind this whole mess means serious business. It looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. Mr. Edgeworth. I just wanted to say how much I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much. It was nothing. In fact, I should be one thanking you for your cooperation. But truly, if it wasn't for you, I might not be here right now. Instead, I can continue to serve our passengers as a flight attendant. I hope that... Well, please accept this as a token of my appreciation. That's... I see. You don't have to take it if you don't want it. No, I mean, I would never turn down a lady's generous offer. Oh, thank you. I'm sure it will serve you well. And remember, we here at GoU Airlines are always ready to serve, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you, I'll keep that in mind. Now, I must bid you farewell. May all your skies be blue, no matter where you go. I can't believe we wound up investigating the whole day, sir, but boy, was it fun. Speak for yourself, my day was filled with earthquakes, elevators, and false charges. By the way, where's Francisca? Oh, she's filling out some customs paperwork for her departure. Departure? Yeah, Miss Von Karma's always really busy, sir. She's been flying from country to country to chase down some leads regarding your case. Detective, can you cancel the car I had you reserve earlier? You got it, sir. Francisca? I thought I told you when you first landed I have no time for idle chatter. I have no intention of wasting your time, however. It has been a while since we last met. I also have no time for such familiar reminiscence. Just who do you think I am? You are Francisca von Karma, a very proud prosecutor deserving of much respect. Until only a little while ago, I was but a wretched mutt who was always losing to you. Dancing... I was gonna say parrot, and I'm like, nah. Living her life on the name and fame her invincible father built. Sure, your father, Manfred von Karma, didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. However, I wouldn't say he was invincible. What are you talking about? The group I'm on the trial of is a little more troublesome than most. The smuggling route we found this time is only one sliver of the big picture. Sounds like a dangerous assignment. You really don't have to worry, I can take care of myself. Yes, I suppose you can. Plus, there is another agent on this case with me. Oh, another agent? He's a star among Interpol agents, and has the highest successful arrest rate. Who knows, you may even run into him one day. I was simply caught up in this one case, I hardly see why we have crossed paths. I suppose. But I doubt he would say the same. I'm not following you. You'll understand soon enough. The fight has only just begun, Miles Edgeworth. I'll be back in this country soon enough. And when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back in full. Just like that, she's gone, huh, sir? Thank goodness. I can finally rest easy knowing I won't have to watch out for her whip. Detective Gunshow, I want to thank you for all your help and cooperation. Oh, it was nothing, sir. I was just happy to be able to work with you again. Ho ho. I think I'm going to celebrate by adding a little extra salt to my instant noodles today. Just how much did you cut his salary by, Francisca? Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office. Sure thing, sir. I'll even fly down the road in the patrol car if you want. Don't make me remind you, Detective. Safety first. Thus, I solved the first case upon my arrival home. Francisca von Karma, the smuggling route she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put their trump card into play. And the players on the other side of this war, they would begin to make themselves known throughout the next incident. Edgeworth speaking. Finally, I called who knows how many times earlier, but I couldn't get through. And you are? Have you forgotten my voice, Miles, my boy? Mr. Amano? Ernest Amano, correct? So you do remember me. I know it's rather sudden, but I can't ask this of anyone else. There's been an incident, Miles. My son, he's been kidnapped.
Dun, dun, dun. I kind of want to see the opener.
The opening of the next case?
And then I go to bed.
Okay.
Come by me. I love my cat.
Yes, you do. It's time. Don't worry, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be following your every movement with my binoculars. Good to hear. Now make sure you don't lose sight of me. I'm counting on you for backup. You can count on me, sir. I have to go. The kidnapper is supposed to contact me soon. Who would have thought that upon my return, I'd be thrust into a kidnapping case, and that I would be the one who would have to make the ransom drop-off. So, that is pretty amazing. Oh my god. Now all I have to do is await further instructions from the kidnapper, which I'm expecting to be transferred to my cell phone. I wonder who else is around. This is the meeting place after all. Welcome to Gatewaterland. Oh, thank you. And a big hello to you. I'm the Proto Badger. Nice to meet you. Excuse me, but were you perhaps thinking of taking a picture of me? Picture of you? Sorry, but I'm not interested. Aw, that's too bad. Well, have a good day.
I hope it's not him.
Hello? Who are you? You're not Ernest Amano. Sounds like the kidnapper is using some sort of voice alteration device. I'm his representative, Miles Edgeworth. Are you a cop? No, I'm a prosecutor. I know what you're wondering, and yes, I have brought the ransom money with me. I see. In that case, bring the money with you to the stadium. So this person intends to see if I'm being followed, huh? Please, Detective Gumshoe, I really need you to come through for me this one time. Edgeworth speaking. Next, come to the haunted house. Just how long do you intend to have me wander around for? That's for me to decide. You don't have much of a choice here, my friend. I suppose not. I've arrived. Go inside. What a dismal place. That's it. Go through those doors. Am I being watched from somewhere? Yeah, how is this guy seeing him? Leave the money and go, now. I was hoping for an exchange, but maybe I should do as they say for now and not push it.
That gunshot? Oh, no. Shutting the door.
I couldn't catch even a glimpse of the kidnapper. Perhaps I should keep an eye on this haunted house until police backup arrives.
Ah!
That's a little creepy. Ah, it was a trap. That guy betrayed. No, can't be. The deal... Who's that? What are they talking about? Split? Police? Alright. In front of... Meetup. I can't move my body. I fear I may faint again. Dang! You've been captured?
Do you have any, like, flashlight?
Well, they got him tied up.
I thought this was
How long was I out? It wasn't raining like it is now when I made the drop-off. It was supposed to be a simple affair, so why have I been taken hostage as well? I can only assume Detective Gumshoe lost sight of me at some point. The only reason I agreed to be the drop-off man was because of that phone call. It was from Mr. Ernest Amano, the director of the powerful Zaibatsu the Amano Group. But aside from that, I also owe him a great deal of gratitude. His only son Lance has been kidnapped. I know that Lance is already in his 20s, but I guess some things you never grow out of. I can't sit around waiting for someone to come help me. I must escape somehow. No! Ha ha ha, was that you making that funny sound? Who's there, and how dare you laugh at a gentleman's plight? What the? Who are you? Are you one of the kidnappers? Kidnapper? Me? No way, I'm not into such petty crimes. No, but I'm after something much, much bigger. I must be worn out from today's ordeal. Focus, Miles. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. Sorry about that. Ahem. Even in the depths of night, no other bird dares to take flight. One alone soars to shine the light of righteousness on the world's plight. And that one is me, for I am the great thief, Yadagarasu. Oh, really? I thought it was some old dude. Great thief, and did she really just claim to be the Yadagarasu? Oh, but my real name is Kay Faraday. You can call me Kay. Kay? Good, glad that's settled. Not quite. I have a mountain of questions for you. But first, if you would be so kind as to remove these ropes... I wonder, should I remove them? I was actually having a lot of fun watching you make those silly faces. Hey, there's no need to get all mad and ice glary on me, you know. This rope goes through here, and there you go. What a relief, I owe you my thanks. It's okay, you can pay me back in full later. Now then, what question should I start with? Fortunately, I can already tell nothing is going to be easy with this cheeky girl. My first question is, why is there a key in your head? You call yourself a great thief, yet are you really a thief at all? You doubt me? I get it. You think a young lady like me couldn't possibly be such a big-time thief, right? That's not the part I have a tough time believing. I am the real, genuine Yatagarasu, you know. Yep, I'm a pure-blooded great thief. It's a little something I inherited from my predecessor. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I arrested you then, right? What? Of course I'd mind. I haven't stolen anything yet. Seriously, I don't know how you can say such a horrible thing to your savior. That's true. Technically, she hasn't stolen anything in front of me yet. When you say you're the Yatagarasu, do you mean you are the Yatagarasu? Yep. The most righteous of the righteous. Legendary great thief. But I inherited the title only recently, so I haven't had a chance to steal anything yet as the second Yatagarasu. I was not aware that thieves could pass down their titles like that. But don't worry, I've got some big plans in the works. Big plans, huh? They wouldn't happen to lead to a big arrest, would they? I knew it, there's just no reasoning with a prosecutor. I'm not the problem here. I'll have you know that the Yatagarasu have no interest in stealing petty trinkets. Just one thing and one thing only I want to steal. Only one thing? What would that be? But that's going to have to wait until we find our way out of here. Well, at least there is one thing we agree on. I'm sure I'll have plenty of time later to learn more about you. So you never told me what your name is, Mr. Prosecutor. I guess not. I'm Miles Edgeworth. Aha, now I remember. How can you remember something I just told you? She sure is cheery. Alright then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's get out of here. It would seem that we are locked in from the other side. What? No way! I don't hear you, la la la. Kay, you do remember where you came in from, right? It looks like that might be our only way out of this room. Whoops, slight miscalculation. That's a good height to make an entrance from, but I can't jump that high to make an exit. I suppose we have no choice but to look around and see if we can't find another way. Is this where you like to stop on? Okay. So we have started the next case. We've met a new character, claiming to be the Yatagarasu, who actually whacked us on the head, thank you. And we'll just have to, I don't know, wait to figure it out. It might be a little while. Okay. Well, until next time, then.